Okay, so here's my take of the worst five players of the NBA season, this recent NBA season 2021 through 2022. Yes, I know the first name you'll see on there is Joel Embiid. And I have a reason for everybody being on this list, and I'll just go ahead and start off. So, Embiid, um, obviously, he was second in the MVP voting. Okay, like I'm not gonna act like I don't know that, or that should eliminate him from any worst five 2022 season. But in my personal realm, how I feel about basketball is, what are you doing in the playoffs? Like, what are you doing in the playoffs? I see too many times players are great during the regular season and trash in the playoffs or average in the playoffs. What are you doing during the playoffs when teams really start playing defense and really start scheming? The greatest players that we consider, we base them on their playoff achievements. Do we say Michael Jordan is the GOAT because of his regular season numbers? No. Same with LeBron. If LeBron hadn't won a championship, how would we treat him? How would we treat Kobe? How would we treat Magic or Larry Bird? Or no, like playoffs matter. And Embiid, quite frankly, he just hasn't produced in the playoffs. Keep in mind, and this is why I never trash LeBron. LeBron has been to 10 NBA finals. Embiid has been to zero. Just think about that for a second. 10, 0. I've been to zero. Like, he's been as many as I have been to, which is zero. And it's not like he's getting eliminated by these all-time great teams. Last year it was the Atlanta Hawks with Trae Young. This year it was the Miami Heat with Jimmy Butler. Like, what is happening? You know, like I know it's not entirely his fault they're getting eliminated, but I'm gonna give him the share of the blame. I think he's got to be a better leader. I think he's I think he's got to show up. He's got to show up and stop making excuses. Uh, you lost. Like, there's a reason you're losing. You're the star player. You have to take some responsibility for that. If not, like almost all of it, you're the leader. Like, you're losing. It's like if my business stops making money, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, my accountant's failing everything, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like my marketer isn't marketing well enough. It's all his fault. Like, dude, you're the leader of the team. Like, you need to get your team to the freaking finals at least once in your entire career. For you threw Ben Simmons under the bus. Now it's James Harden. Who's next? You know what I'm saying? Tobias Harris has been thrown. Everyone's getting thrown. Um, but anyways, let's move on to the next one. I say insert Rockets forward simply because nobody. I didn't want a list where nobody. If somebody doesn't pop up in my head immediately, I don't want to put them on the list. Um, so I couldn't think of anyone specifically that played forward position that I thought was, other than small forward, like power forward position, that I really thought was like that bad. So I should change this to PF too, just to be more clear. I didn't put anybody from the power forward position because no one popped in my head that I thought was just that horrible. I think Porzingis deserves a shout out, but I don't think he was like that shockingly bad. Um, so I'd say insert the Rockets forward because I think any list with the worst or disappointing, needs to. Okay, if you have a team that finishes last in the league in record, you got to throw somebody has to be on the list. So I said insert Rockets forward. So whatever forward had the worst season on the team, there he goes. Small forward Carmelo Anthony. I almost feel bad putting Carmelo on the list, but I mean he had a trash season. I would say. I mean, did he play good? I don't think so. I think the Lakers in general were trash. Um, I think he was one of the big reasons. Like, why is his team defend so poorly? That's a big reason they're trash. And Carmelo's lack of defense is very notable. I think whoever manages that team needs to be fired. And that's really how I feel about the Lakers. I could have a whole different segment about the Lakers, but uh, that team is just pathetic, extremely pathetic. This season, you know, 2 seasons ago, they're pretty solid, but this season just shocking, very very bad. In fact, without LeBron, I'm like, I don't even know how many games that team would have won. Like that could have been like all. But shooting guard, LeBron takes some of the blame too, but he's also 37. But that's also the problem with the team. Anyways, okay, so shooting guard, I definitely need time to flame Grayson Allen in this video. Man, how is this dude in the NBA? Like, you're like, how is this dude in the NBA? I just like, is he? Is Jimmer Fredette really worse than him? I gotta watch some footage of Jimmer and I gotta watch footage of Grayson Allen and be like, I feel like some players slip through the cracks. I did an EPL, English Premier League, which is soccer, um, one, and I was like, just there's always some players that just slip through the cracks. I feel like I think we all know why Grayson Allen is in the NBA. He was just popular in college. He's a decent defender, somewhat. I just like his playoff performances, and again, kind of like harping on Embiid. Like, what do you do during the postseason? Grayson Allen's playoff performance was shocking. I would almost single handedly blame him for them losing to to Miami. I think if I'm sorry, the Celtics. I think if Middleton was there, they probably would have won that series. But it's not just the fact that Middleton was not there; it was the fact that Middleton was not there and he was replaced by Grayson Allen. So like the drop off in quality was like night and day, yin and yang. It was like whatever you would consider the complete fall off of quality. It was like plastic and metal. It was like, you know what I'm saying? It was like it was like sewage and like purified water. Like just poor, just shocking, um, just bad. I like he his shot was just like brick. I was calling it like every time. I was like brick, brick. Then he tried to drive and get swatted. I was like, dude, like what is going on? I just don't think he's like an NBA quality player. Like I feel like if he was in the G League, I don't think he would make it back out. I feel like there's like better players in the G League like right now. I just don't think he's that good. Like I just have such a hard time. Like I feel like someone would have to convince me. Like obviously if we played 1-on-1, he I'm sure he'd beat me. But like I haven't played basketball in like 15 years. Like like I just don't think he's that good. I like and college doesn't count. I played college sports too. There's a big difference between college and freaking pros. Trust me. Uh, I just don't think he's that good. He just every time I see him, I'm just like, oh gosh, man, here we go. I can't be the only one. Like whenever he's in the lineup, aren't you just kind of like, gosh, like it's just like a part of you that wants him to do well, but you just know he's not going to. Like you just know it. Like like I'm pretty sure in the game plan before games, they don't even mention him. They're just like, okay, guys, guard Giannis. Make sure watch out for big boy. I'm talking about the dude with the twin. Watch out for freaking Brooke Lopez. Watch out for freaking they play hard. Drew Holiday. Cheeky. I mean, like they I don't even, I don't even think they talk about Grayson Allen in any type of game plan. They're just like, yeah. What I can see somebody ask a question. What about Grayson Allen? Coach is like, who? Yeah, Grayson Allen. The I think he's like the starting shooting guard or something like that. Coach like Spo is like, listen, we're not gonna waste time talking about unimportant things here. So next question. Like literally, like I just don't think they have any type of. If Grayson Allen puts up 40, bro, I will have to watch that footage in slow motion to understand how that even could possibly be humanly possible. I wouldn't even believe it. I would treat that game like the game that homeboy scored like 100 points on. Can't even think of his name right now. You know what I'm talking about. Will I would treat that like a 100 point game. Like, oh, there's no footage. Nah, I don't really believe it. I have a hard time believing it. To be honest with you, bro, this is a whole different. I'm gonna get back on track, but I'll probably get flamed for this one too. But bro, I just think Will is overrated, bro. I just don't like. I just don't see it. Like when I've seen him play in the footage, I'm like, he don't look like he scored 100 points to me. I'm just like, Okay, was the NBA just that trash back in the day? If so, dude, I would almost like erase that from NBA history. I feel like lowers the credibility of the NBA. Like, wasn't he playing for like the Globetrotters? Like, how was he putting up like 100 points? Like y'all couldn't like defend that. Like Kobe's like the most talented player I've seen since Michael Jordan, and like he only put up like 80s, 81, and like he's jacks up shots like no one else. But anyways, let's go to the guard position. This is the only one where I had a hard time. I had a really hard time deciding between the two. I think Westbrook had a shockingly bad season. I think the Lakers were just horrible. I'm surprised they even had the record they had. I was like, when were they winning games? Like, who do they beat? I need to like look at their schedule and see like who they beat and how they beat them. Because Anthony Davis didn't play most of the season, and he almost deserves to be on this list too. But I'll give him a pass just because he didn't really. Because I give AD a pass. Okay, I don't think it was his fault. I think we all know he was injury prone ahead of time. So I'm not gonna give him. I'm not gonna knock him for that. Westbrook was just him. He reminds me of certain players who just have a toxic play style, and I hark back to soccer and Paul Pogba, where it's just like It's just like the play style just drives me crazy. Like Paul Pogba, I feel like it's just too lazy to be like a professional like player. Like I would just hate to coach that guy. Like, yo, can you like have more energy? Like that's how I feel about Pogba. Like now Russell has energy. He just loses the ball too much. Russ needs to like just he needs to put that same amount of effort he does in the offense and the defense. And he'd probably be a really solid player if he just had that same effort on defense. Um and then there's like the stat padding. There's a few players I feel like stat padding is almost like a myth. Like I think Russell Westbrook proves that players stat pad purposely. I think Russell Westbrook just stat pads. Like he gets random rebounds and credit to him, I think that's the most legit part, I guess. But like half the time he gets rebounds is because he's just looking for rebounds. He's not really trying to defend. I just he just he just he was bad this season. He was really bad. I think we all thought they would like challenge for a title, and I feel like the reason they didn't was mostly because his lack of quality. Uh, Westbrook, like just Westbrook is just golly clanking. It may be clanking. Anyways, last but not least, Ben Simmons. Ben, man, Ben gets here just for being soft. Um, this dude missed an entire season with like no injury. It's like, bro, like if you don't want to play, just retire. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's like almost like disrespectful to his employers, bro. You think I'm joking? Okay, try your job to be like, oh, I can't work right now. Why? Oh, I just don't really want to. Y'all still pay me for a year? Ben Simmons just freaking got PTO for 1 year straight, um, which I kind of admire actually. I should almost take him off the list for that. That's actually pretty incredible now I think about it. I personally don't think Ben is that bad. I think he's better. I think he's a better fit than James Harden. Sixers are just a trash organization too. I don't even know. I gotta do Sixers versus freaking Lakers. Who was like the most trash organization this season? I might do that video next. But Ben Simmons, Ben just like Ben, you gotta play, bro. You gotta play, man. Like you almost lost two teams a chance at the title in the same season. And I hate to like call them out like that because that's actually like almost like unbelievable and blows your mind when you think about it. But he pretty much lost two teams a title in the same season. He didn't play for the Sixers and he made them trade for a lesser player. and then he didn't. And I'm not even gonna blame him for the Hawks series because everyone flames him for that. I think that that whole situation is overrated. Yes, he passed up one layup. We're talking about 2 points out of 7 games. Yeah, he passed up one layup. Okay, it's very typical for the Sixers to throw a player under the bus. Personally, from watching, I didn't think he played that bad. I was actually concerned. I thought he was locking down Trey. I was like, if we win the series, lose the series, it's because Ben was guarding Trey the whole time. Um, I don't, I don't think Ben is bad at all. I just think Sixers are toxic, and he's probably the wrong person to be in a toxic organization. And I almost want to take him off when I think about it like that. But like at the same time, he did ruin 2 team season in one season. Like he didn't show up for the Nets. If he showed up for the Nets, who knows how they would have done? Because they could have used some more defense. So, anyways, guys, worst 5 NBA players, NBA's list team 2021, 2025. That's it for this video. Peace out.